So if you had this problem, most of our problems start off with squared. And these problems are actually the result of FOIL. First, outer, inner, and last. Remember doing FOIL when we had two sets of parentheses. Like, let's say you had, 2x plus 5, and if it was the same thing, that doesn't have to always be the same thing, but when you multiply them, FOIL is an acronym to help us to do it. It's the first in each set, so it would be 2x times 2x makes the first term here. So the first in each set has to make the first term. And then the outer edges, the left and the right edges, makes the next term. The inside, i's inside, those two make the second term. And then the last in each set make the third term. And then you can put the O and the I together. So there's a little refresher on doing the FOIL part of it, okay? And notice now the answer has this squared here. So this first term is always made of the first two in each set being multiplied. So when we have something that says b squared, when we're making our sets, we can assume that the things that were being multiplied are both b and b to the first power and b to the first power. So when we come up here with something with b to the fourth, I know that it would be possible for it to be b to the third, let's say, and b to the first power. That would make sense. However, there's a couple of clues in the problem that tell us that that is not what we're supposed to be doing. First of all, if this is b to the third, then when there's things being combined through FOIL, it would not have ended up as b to the second. If one of them was b to the third and the other one was b to the first, then you would see the result of that somewhere in here. You would have to have something that just had b to the first power, and you would have to have something that has b to the third power. So we don't see that as a result up here. What we do see is we see things that have 2's and 4's. So, and this middle term was the result of putting together things that had b squared. So in order to get b to the fourth, it needs to be b squared and b squared. And then, so that's basically the square root of this term, because this happens to be a perfect square trinomial. So if it's a perfect square trinomial, meaning the first term you can find the square root and the last term you can find the square root, then the square root of b to the fourth, meaning something times itself, gives you b to the fourth. That's b squared times b squared, gives you b to the fourth, if it has to be the same thing. So they're b squared there, and then here this is 16 times 16 is the square root of 256. So that's how we get our 16s. We know that the middle term is negative, so we'll give one of these a negative, and the two of them together have to make a positive. So that's why they're both negative. But I hope that kind of answers why we went from b to the fourth to b squared.